I'm Sarah. I am 33 years old, and this is how I caught my husband cheating. It all started when I picked up Jake's phone from the dresser and announced cheerfully, "You got a message from some Christine." I tilted my head and smiled mischievously, looking intently at my husband. "Well, let's open it and take a look together." Jake, who was sitting on the couch with his laptop, froze for a moment and then suddenly turned pale. No, he blurted out too quickly. "Why? What for?" The thought flashed through his mind. Christine had recently become his mistress, and now he sensed that a huge scandal was just a moment away. "It's something work-related," he said. "Give it here quickly. I'll check myself." He jumped up and reached for the phone, grasping at the last chance to avoid exposure. But I decisively pushed his hand away, already unlocked the screen and opened the message. "Jake, honey, when are you coming back to me on a business trip? Buy me those lacy white panties we saw in the store. Kisses, waiting for you." I slowly turned my gaze to my husband. "Yeah, really work-related?" I said calmly, hiding an angry smirk. "Give it here!" Jake lunged again, but I deftly dodged. "Darling," I said softly, "let's reply together." And before he could try to snatch the phone again, I was already typing. "Why don't you come to me instead? You'll get panties and even a robe. Waiting, kisses." I added our address in New York City and hit send. While the message was marked as read, I deleted both chats. Jake watched me with eyes wide in horror, as if he'd just learned his favorite borscht was made with cat paw instead of beef. "What did you do?" he whispered in terror. "Oh, nothing," I smiled. "Just invited your Christine to visit us. You have such a busy life. All those business trips, panties, and it's so boring here. We need to liven things up." Jake clutched his head in his hands. "Honey, why are you so scared?" I asked. "Wasn't that message work-related? When's your next business trip, my love?" Jake swallowed nervously, already anticipating the scandal and frayed nerves. "It's just a joke," he said. "A stupid joke, you know. It's not what you think at all." Listening to my husband's excuses, I nodded. "A joke, you say? Well then, let's joke too. Maybe your Christine will turn out to be even more fun than us." "Oh God, Sarah," he groaned. "Please, no." "Too late, darling. She's already on her way. We're expecting her any minute now." Jake was gasping for air. "I need to call her urgently. Urgently need to stop her." He grabbed his phone and frantically opened the Messenger app. "Oh, I accidentally deleted her number," I informed him innocently. "Now you'll have to explain in person. It's no big deal, right? You just replied with a joke to her joke. Why are you so worried, dear?" I wanted to laugh watching my husband panic and pace around the apartment. I wasn't a stupid woman and understood perfectly well what that message about panties meant. Jake forcefully threw the phone on the couch. "Sarah, what are you doing? Are you going to have a showdown with her?" "Of course not," I sighed. "I just want to see what our new corporate communication standards are like. Maybe I should reply to my boss too, especially since Greg has offered me a trip to his country house several times to see the peacocks." Jake groaned and covered his face with his hands. And 40 minutes later, there was a ring at the door. Jake jumped up from the couch, and I theatrically fixed my hair and went to the door. "Shall we open it together, dear?" I asked. "No, wait, I'll handle it myself," Jake protested, but I had already clicked the lock. On the threshold stood Christine, tall, long-legged, looking at me appraisingly with casual disdain in her eyes. "Who are you?" she asked. I smiled broadly. "I'm Sarah, though Jake calls me Kitten. And who are you?" Christine was silent for a couple of seconds, as if digesting what she'd heard. "I'm Christine," she muttered. "Jake called me." Of course," I chimed in. "Come in, since you're here. You'll be our third. You don't mind, do you?" Meanwhile, Jake had cowardly retreated to the bedroom. Christine cautiously stepped over the threshold. There was a rustle behind her back. Jake had poked his head out. I spun around lightning fast. "Oh, here's our hero! He just can't sit still!" Jake froze like a deer in headlights. "Christine," he swallowed nervously. I didn't write to you." Christine turned to him sharply. "What do you mean, you didn't write?" "It was all her!" Jake cried hysterically, pointing at me. I just smiled and clapped my hands. "Why so shy, Jake? You picked out panties and a robe for her. You say you didn't write? Should I lend Christine something of mine then?" Christine slowly turned her gaze to Jake, her lips pressed together haughtily. "Jake, I don't understand what's going on here, and who is this woman anyway?" Jake tried to say something, but I immediately interrupted him. "I'm his wife," I said, looking Christine straight in the eye. "What? You're married?" Christine exclaimed. "So you feed your wife lies about business trips while you—" "Christine, wait!" But Christine had already tossed her head and snorted contemptuously. "You pathetic liar! And I wondered why you didn't want to visit me often. So that's what it is. You're working on two fronts. Although I doubt there's enough of him for two," I chimed in indignantly. "You know, Christine, I've been supporting him, feeding him, raising him. But now I think I'll let him go. Will you take him?" Christine scoffed disdainfully. "Well, you're right. Why do you need him?" I nodded. "You know what? I agree with you. Look how pathetic he is." I turned to Jake, who looked like he was about to faint. "Pack your things, dear," I told him. "You have 15 minutes to get out of here. Go on, the grown-up ladies are going to have drinks." Christine wanted to object, but I slapped her on the shoulder familiarly. "Don't you dare refuse. You're my guest now. As soon as this one leaves, we'll sit down and have some fun." Christine was in shock, to put it mildly. But, she stammered. "This is my home." Jake finally managed to say something. "And I'm the mistress of this house," I parried. "And you're a coward and a traitor. Traitors don't live here." Jake looked around the apartment as if seeing everything dear to him for the last time. I won't leave," I thought for a moment. "Then I'll call the police and say a strange man broke into my apartment." "You're crazy," Jake said dejectedly. I just smiled in response. "I think we'll have to sit another time," Christine said, heading for the exit. "You lovebirds have fun by yourselves. I'm not participating in this circus," she added from the hallway. I didn't go to chase after my husband's mistress. The door slammed behind her, and I looked at Jake wistfully. He looked so pathetic with that bag of socks in his hand that I sincerely wanted to laugh. "Oh, Jake," I said sarcastically. "I guess someone's left without a mistress. What a catastrophe. I'd even feel sorry for you, but you didn't buy me those white lacy panties." "You've ruined everything," Jake mumbled quietly. "You've bankrupted me. My position at work depends on Christine, and now I understand I'll be fired tomorrow." "Too bad I didn't really bankrupt you," I shrugged. He looked at me with a gaze full of despair. Sarah, please don't kick me out," he begged. "I'll always be faithful to you in the future." "You have 5 minutes left," I said, turning around and going to the bedroom, leaving my husband alone with his pathetic attempts to think of a way to beg for forgiveness. 10 minutes later, he left. I sat down on the couch, took a glass of wine in my hand, and exhaled. Now he really has a business trip. But only one way.